He's a very good lawyer, too. Oh, come on, Robert, you know you are.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mount Olive Township Workshop and Council Meeting for September 3rd, 2019. If you would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for all those men and women that served and protected us and paid the ultimate price.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Michelle, would you read the Open Public Meetings Act, please?
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices were sent to those requesting the same.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Here.
Mr. Ferrante.
Here.
Mrs. Labow.
Here.
Mr. Mania.
Here.
Mr. Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Roman.
Here.
Mr. Nacastro.
Here. I'd like to introduce we have a guest here, Amanda Barrios, who's the council president for the Mount Olive High School class. Welcome. So at this moment, we have to do a brief executive session. Will not take long. So at this point, we're going to ask everyone to please just go in the hallway, and we'll call you back in. And
But this is our biggest concern. We don't know what's going on in town. And again, we are right now 175 strong. We had half of that amount today in our senior meeting. We need to know what's going on. And for you to know what's going on in the seniors center, I will give this to Joe and I will get you more copies. This is our Mount Olive Senior newsletter.
Yes.
We produce this every month, okay? It's listed on special days in September, what we're doing on trips. If you are homebound in the hospital, please let us know. We will visit or send you a card, what club activities there are. So I will give this to Joe, and like I said, we will get you a bunch more. But like I said, we need to know what's going on.
Joe?
yeah, I'm going to just, Michelle was just saying, if you get a copy to her every month of that, she'll distribute it to us and put it on the
Absolutely,
correspondence.
yeah.
So we'll at least be up to date
Yeah.
on that. Mr. Roman, I know you had a question first.
Sandy, when you're saying the seniors want to be more informed, what avenues are they wishing to get communication? Because, is it, I guess I can empathize that maybe they're not as internet savvy as
Right, and
people.
a lot of them are not.
So what is the avenue that you would prefer to get communication? Is it print, email?
I would say print.
Okay.
Because again, if they're not computer savvy, they're not internet, they're not going to get an email. I am, that's fine, but not a good majority or not. I mean,
I can envision the administration, because we get weekly reports that are very detailed, and unfortunately, most of that stuff is probably not for public dissemination. But I can envision the administration putting out a weekly report that is for public consumption, illustrating. But then again, that's going to be an email.
you can send it to me and I can just copy it and, make copies of it and make sure the club has it.
I think the best way to do it, actually, Lisa knows everything that's going on in town. If you just gave Lisa a weekly call, she would be able to tell you where we're doing grand openings, what's happening in Turkey Brook, what the recreation.
That's
plans
fine.
are.
Yeah.
So let's try that first.
Okay, yeah.
So, and Lisa's already volunteered to pick up that role, and so whether you contact Lisa or Lisa contacts you on a weekly basis, and let's see where it goes from there.
Yeah, that'd be great. And I had been remiss in not saying thank you, but we want to say thank you for our town picnic that we had for the seniors. That was awesome. You deserve to give yourself an applaud because we had such a good time. It was good.
And the comedian was good, too.
Yes, he was.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
funny.
He
Yep.
was excellent.
He was something else, yeah.
Colleen, do you have something before?
Yes, I do. I'm sure you were copied on the email between Pat and I had said to her that if there's something that the seniors are interested in, let me know, because I'd be happy to write an article for your newsletter.
Okay.
But I'm also hoping to come to your meeting. You have once a month is the general meeting?
We have 2 meetings a month. We had one today.
Yeah, I didn't know about the one today.
That was the general meeting, and then 2 weeks from today, we will have our just social meeting, which is really no business is carried on. We just
Right, because
be
what I was
social.
going to suggest on going on what Rob was saying, well, when Lisa posts things on Facebook that's going on in town, if we printed that out and posted it in the senior center, so seniors could see it when they go by.
That's fine.
Because
That's
then
fine.
it's a visual and it's hands-on, and then I'll also,
It's too fluid.
too fluid.
It's too fluid. You're gonna have flyers up there that are gonna be months old. You're gonna have flyers that are not gonna hit where you need them to hit. The
Yeah,
best
that's
way to
true.
do it is to have a weekly conversation between you and Lisa. You'll
That's
know
fine.
everything you'll know everyone whose birthday is coming up in town, every business that's coming in town, everything that's going on in Turkey Brook. She will be able to tell you, and she'll make it part of her job to
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
get you that information.
That'd be wonderful.
And that, if it doesn't work that way, then we'll revisit the next way to be
Yeah.
able to communicate.
That'd be wonderful. At least I have something to say to them then, and because we are there, besides the meetings, we're there every Thursday playing bocce. I'm saying that because every year we play our police department. How do I say this nicely? They've only won once. So we're waiting for them to respond to us once again.
You know what, I
So-
told them not to beat you guys, so.
Excuse me. Have you seen them? We have.
I've played with them and they've beaten me, so.
Really? Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm just waiting for Brian to get back to us with a date, because I'd said them any date, any Saturday in September, that would be great for them. We're there for you.
When are you playing the council and the mayor? Over
That's
this way,
Colleen.
Sandy.
Sounds
I'm
like
sorry?
Me. My voice always sounds like it's coming from back there.
It does, yes, I'm sorry.
When are we playing, when are you playing the council and the mayor?
Speak to them, I just did, and I said,
She just challenged us.
Yes, good.
We'll figure out a date and let you know.
yeah,
figure it out,
absolutely.
Sandy.
That's time enough so you don't have to run off. Thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Sandy.
Does anyone else from the public wish to be heard at this time? Seeing none, we close. Oh, I'm sorry. You can go up, sir. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. My name's Rudy Valley. I live at 8 Myrtle Road in Bud Lake. There was supposed to be somebody here to carry this conversation because I don't know how they wrote it up, but it involves the mortars that are discharged twice a year in Netcong, all day long and all night long, and then they go into fireworks for an hour. And I'm part of a group that wants to oppose this being done, and we're wondering if there's anything that you, Mr. Mayor, or the council can do to help us in fighting this. The reasons being, number one is our veterans. And I'm a Vietnam veteran. I spent 16 months in that hole, and that's all I heard was gunfire, mortars, rockets, and bombs. Luckily, I heard them. A lot of people didn't. When these things go off all day long, it drives me totally insane. And I'm partially insane as it is, but it makes me totally insane.
Yeah, but you have to understand, and I sympathize with you, I do. Obviously, you recognize the fact that it's in Netcong, and there's not too much that I can do, nor do we generally get involved in activities that occur in other towns, because easily enough they could get involved in our activities. You know, we obviously have fireworks.
Sure.
Different, not the same, not all day,
Right.
but the theory works the same way, that, you know, each town has autonomy in terms of how they want to move forward with their special events.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could certainly write a letter indicating that we've had a number of residents, inclusive of your story, some of whom are Vietnam veterans who are troubled, whatever words I'm going to use, I'm happy to write that letter to the mayor of Netcong. That's about all that I think I can do.
Well, I don't...
I'm happy to write it. I don't think it's going to really have any impact, and it's certainly not going to have much teeth to it. It's just going to be, I'd like to alert you to the following situation. We've had
Okay.
a number of residents, some of whom are veterans, who are deeply troubled by the events that go all day long.
Yes.
And would ask that you consider changing that in some fashion so that it's not disruptive to their lives, something like that.
That would be great,
Happy
Mr.
to write
Mayor.
it, but again, it's not really going to have teeth other than to alert the mayor that there are residents in Mount Olive. We'll get the letter out. We'll make sure you get a copy of it.
Okay.
All right?
Very good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Roman?
Remy,
Thank-
well, first off, thank you for your service, and I'm sorry that you had to go through all that. Has your VFW thought of sending a letter in the name of the VFW to Netcong?
I don't belong to
Okay.
any of those organizations. I belong to the Vietnam Veterans of America, but the chapter that I was active in has 6 active members left. You know, we're all dying off slowly because of Agent Orange. And, you know, the reason I'm not a member of the VFW is when I first came home from Vietnam, the VFW didn't want us. They told us we weren't permitted to join the VFW because we never fought in a war. Well, I don't know what they call war, but I'd hate to see their definition of it. So for that reason, my own pig-headedness, I mean, it's not their fault. I just never made myself available as a member to them or the American Legion, you know, because a lot of those guys just go there to drink anyway. And I take so much medication I can't drink, so I don't want to have to sit there and watch them and not be able to indulge in it, you know. It's a sad thing, but
I'll make sure you get a copy of the letter that we sent out. I've asked Andrew to do a first draft for me, and so we'll get it out hopefully this week. All right?
thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
And council.
Thank you.
And thank you again for your service. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else from the public wish to be heard at this time? Seeing none, close to the public. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? I will open up the Mount Olive Township Council meeting for September 3rd, 2019. Michelle, would you read the Open Public Meetings Act, please?
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices are sent to those requesting the same.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Here.
Mr. Ferrante.
Here.
Mrs. Labow.
Here.
Mr. Mania.
Here.
Mr. Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Roman.
Here.
Mr. Nacastro.
Here. Mr. Amianda, would you approve the minutes from the previous meetings, August 6th, August 20th, workshop and public meeting, please?
Yes, Mr. President. I make a motion to approve, for approval of August 6th. I make a motion for approval of public meeting and work session agenda on September 3, 2019.
August
August 6th, workshop, and August
Is
20th, workshop and public meeting.
Correct.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Labow.
Excuse me, just point of order.
Mr.
Danielle has
Amianda,
to
you were
recuse,
abstain.
or abstain, yeah.
Yeah, you were
Thank you.
absent.
Sorry.
That's okay, thank you.
Yes,
Mrs. Labow.
yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro.
Abstain. We have 15 pieces of correspondence. Does anyone have any correspondence? Any questions, concerns? Seeing none, next item on the agenda for first reading is, for second reading, I'm sorry. I got my wrong sheet. for second reading. I open the hearing to the public on ordinance number 17-2019, an ordinance of granting municipal consent for operation of cable television system within the Township of Mount Olive, New Jersey, to CSC TKR LLC DBA Cablevision of Morris. Mr. Ferrante.
I move for adoption and final passage ordinance number 17-2019.
Second.
Does anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, close to the public. Anyone from council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Labow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro.
Yes. Ordinance number 17-2019 is passed on second reading, and I hereby direct the clerk to forward a copy of the same to the mayor and publish notice of adoption as required by law. Next item on the agenda for first reading is ordinance number 18-2019, bond ordinance providing supplemental appropriation of $500,000 for sewer improvements to the Old Flanders area of the Township of Mount Olive in the County of Morris, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $500,000 bonds or notes to the township to finance part of the cost thereof. Ms. Labow.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that ordinance number 18-2019 be introduced by title and passed on first reading, and that a meeting be held on September 17th, 2019 at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, for a public hearing, consideration of second reading, and passage of said ordinance, and that the clerk be directed to publish, post, and make available said ordinance in accordance with the requirements of the law.
Second.
Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, close to the public. Anyone from council? Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Labow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro.
Yes. We have 20 consent resolutions. Anyone wish to move any to non-consent? Seeing none, Mr. Mania, would you move resolutions 1
Thank you,
through
Mr.
20?
President. I move for approval of consent resolutions 1 through 20.
Second.
Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, close to the public. Any comments or questions from council? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Labow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro.
Yes. Mr. Stewart, would you please move the bill list?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption and passage of the bill list.
Second.
Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, anyone from council? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Labow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro.
Abstain on check 85377, yes to all others. Administrative reports, Mayor? Andrew?
Several items. First of all, on Monday, on 9/11, we will be having a ceremony commemorating those who lost their lives and our first responders. Begins at 8:30 promptly. I guess the 11th is a week from today, so it'll be a Tuesday. Wednesday.
Wednesday, right?
Wednesday. Today's 3rd. Saturday, September 7th, 2019, Coffee with the Cop at Dunkin' Donuts, 9 to 11 a.m., 375 U.S. Highway 46 in Bud Lake. And then Monday, September 9th, 2019, is a beefsteak dinner to help Big Ant, who obviously was injured in the motorcycle accident on Route 3. It's at the Market Tavern from 7 to 9:30. Pre-sales are $65, $75 at the door. For information, contact the Market Tavern at the mall on 206. Do you have anything?
Yes, just one thing to add. I met with the county last week. They're going to be doing some road improvements in Mount Olive on county roads. It'll be Mount Olive Road, Flanders Road, and Drakestown Road. They're going to start next week and hopefully be done by the end of the month. And nothing should interfere with any of the events scheduled at Turkey Brook.
Thank you.
One other thing,
Yep.
Andrew alerted me to the fact that the county is seriously looking at intersection improvements on the, I guess it's the eastbound side of Route 206 and Flanders Nekong Road, which would be it's Main Street. Main Street.
Be great.
The Main Street side, yeah. So that would be in connection with the other side of the intersection improvements, which are being undertaken by the developer of the Wawa site. So hopefully we'll get a whole new intersection there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep.
Thank you. Do we have any old business?
Yes.
Mr. Mamianda?
Mr. President, I attended the senior citizens business meeting today, and on the whole, the relationship between Mount Olive senior citizens and the council and administration is good, but there were some questions which have been filtered to me. They want to know what happened to their request for sensory automatic doors to the senior citizen buildings. They pointed out that most of the senior citizens have canes, some are in wheelchairs, and some just can barely walk. And sometimes when they come to the door, one of the senior citizens has to go and open the door for them to come in. And so since this request, I think they said it was made about two years ago, they wanted to know what happened to their request.
It's being worked on, I know. Andrew
Doors are
communicated
ordered.
with this about a month ago.
Doors are ordered.
Yeah, the doors are ordered and they'll be going in. Andrew had updated a couple of weeks back, and I spoke to Sandy too, I know about that. They will be getting done. The doors are on order.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, but thank you for the update, yep. Appreciate that. Any other old business? Any new business? Any legal matters?
Nothing tonight, Council President, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Amianda, anything from Board of Ed or seniors?
Board of Education liaison report, none. Senior citizens report scarcely, also is none.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ferrante, anything on Lake Environmental or Library?
No, environmental meets tomorrow.
Thank you. Mr. Stewart, anything on Economic Development or Community Action Panel?
Community Action Panel meets September 19th, and the Economic Development Committee meets again on the 25th.
Thank you. Ms. Lebow, anything on Open Space, Board of Health, or Stigma?
Yes, along the lines with the Board of Health, we have our coalition meeting once a month, or once every other month, I think it is, and they have a mental health group now that have set up their objectives of what they want to look to try and do with helping the community with various issues, which I think is absolutely fantastic that we're going through that and helping the public be more familiar with access to mental health services. And then for the Open Space Committee, we had the tour last week, which the tour of open space in town, which was very, very successful. And many thanks to Andrew. He arranged for the driver, and it was a very successful tour. I asked Michelle all of you got a copy of the note so far on what they covered. And so they saw in Bud Lake, they went to the South Branch Preserve, Highview Farms, the old former Hackettstown MUA property. They also went to municipal property, where there's on Stevens State Park Road and Mine Hill Road and Powhatan Way, And then also Smith Farm on Smithtown Road, Lou Nelson Park and the Mohawk Trail. As we know, Lou Nelson Park has a new playground now. Thank you very much, Mayor and Andrew, for that. It's very exciting. And we went to, well, I was not there, but they went to Camp Pulaski on Lozier Road, Turkey Brook Greenway, open space utility easement between Drake Brook Park and Drakesdale Road, and 3 more pages of areas that they went to. We have a ton of open space and farm preserved properties in town, which it's just been a fantastic success. And many thanks to our administration, the council, and the citizens of Mount Olive Township, because we couldn't do most of this without our open space tax. And then another thing that happened, which I'm really excited about, all of a sudden today I get this email from the, of course the print is very tiny, it's from the New Jersey League of Conservation Voters, and in conjunction with, let's see where else, with the ANJEC, ANJEC, and the New Jersey Highlands Coalition. They're having tomorrow night, going on the Tour Lolita tour of Lake Hopatcong.
Yeah, the boat ride.
The boat ride,
Yep.
and they're going to be talking about, the, that plume, the, thank you, the algae plume, and they're having professionals on board to discuss how it happens, why it happens, and all that sort of thing. So I am really excited.
You going?
Yeah, I'm going. Because I figured it would be so informative to go, and so that's tomorrow night. And
Cost is $500, you know that, right?
it's free. Which is good. Well, it's not just free. Nothing's ever free, but it's being paid for by the organizations who are.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you didn't, and you're not going?
I won't be, no, I can't.
You
go
guys
for
aren't
that.
going? Anyway.
I'm
I
going.
think Greg is going.
Are you
so
going? Oh,
you'll be
good.
there. Yep,
It's
I
gonna
figure
be.
we'll find out from both of you.
Yep,
What time is it?
definitely.
Thank you.
6 o'clock.
You had a reply
You
already.
have to
though,
be there by
because-
5:45.
Yeah, and you had a
because
reply
the
to
boat
fill it in.
leaves the dock at 6.
At 6 o'clock on the button, so
Thank
it
you.
should be
That's
a
a
really
nice
good
boat, too.
time.
Yep, I know.
Anything else?
Nope.
Mr.
done.
Maney, anything on legislative or planning?
Planning, not legislation, planning, I couldn't attend a meeting because it was all use variances, which I cannot vote on.
Thank you. Mr. Roman, anything on recreation or pride?
Nothing on Pride Recreation. For those that did not attend the Food Truck Festival, it was a marvelous success. Greg Stewart, Jonah Castro, and myself walked around, and I was astonished at how many out-of-town
Yeah.
out-of-town people were enjoying our park and the events. So it's kudos to the Recreation Department and to DPW and all our employees to put off such a great event, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. And my caloric intake every time I attend increases.
That's why you have to walk.
Yeah, so we have to walk. And then as far as Recreation Committee, we meet later on this month. That's it.
Thank you very much. Anyone from the public wish to be heard at this time? Seeing none, close to the public. Do we have any council comments? Mr. Amianda?
None.
Mr. Ferrante?
Nope.
Mrs. Laybow?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Mr. Mania?
Yes, I just want to share with the council that I made Andrew aware that Assemblywoman DeCroce introduced legislation for funding of algae problem in Greenwood Lake and Lake Hopatcong, and Andrew's checking to see if we, Mount Olive, can share in that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you. Mr. Stewart?
Nothing tonight.
Mr. Roman?
I'd like to welcome back Mr. Amianda.
Yay, Daniel.
And as I'm saying that, I don't remember if he was here the last meeting.
No.
I wasn't
We
sure.
saw-
We saw him at the park.
Okay.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second.
Any opposed? Thank you, everyone, for coming.